Happy Hump Day, everybody, and welcome to the Sunshine State's only true sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics important to you, the sports fan in the state of Florida. We are Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. I'm Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports talk media. That man way over there is the prodigy of production, prime time Jaden Grimes. We are coming to you live from Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeartRadio app. And we want to hear from you throughout the course of the show. You can enter that rage cage. You can rant and rave and rage about anything you want. Just get on that iHeartRadio app, hit that talkback microphone at the bottom of the screen, and rage away. You can also check in on the Mills Air text line. That's 50857. Krabby Krabs, are you ready to talk a little sports today?
I am ready. Let the prep be done. Let's get the show on the road. I feel like I've been buried in my computer all day. I'm ready to yap for 3 hours and more. Magic coverage tonight, so I'll be on that. And then, you ready for this schedule? Going Game On till 6. Then I'm going to shove some leftover ravioli in my gullet.
Oh, my God.
And then Magic pregame at 6:30. After the game is over, got postgame coverage, of course, here on 96.9 The Game. And then I'll be recording buckets for Action Network, best bets for tomorrow's slate. Mike, the work never stops. Let's keep it rolling.
That's why I call you the hardest working man in sports media. Let's get to some highlights and headlines. Speaking of the Magic, let's start with the Magic. The keys to the game, tonight's game, brought to you by Don Mealy Chevrolet. The disappointing 1-3 Magic are on the road against the Detroit Pistons, a team that is 2-2. They're also struggling a bit in their own right. The Pistons will be without three key players tonight, LeVert, Sasser, and then Jaden Ivey. Kravitz, David Steele. Well, before I ask you this question, here's Jamal Mosley talking about his starters need to start gaining some chemistry.
I do believe it's starting to click, and it, like anything new, anything time you add different pieces, it takes a moment to get those pieces to all gel. But it's such a tight-knit group that they continue to communicate with one another, the things that we need to do, what they see on the floor, and those moments will continue to show and shine.
Okay, so that's Coach Mose saying, hey, it takes a little time for everything to start clicking and gelling. David Steele, the legendary Magic broadcaster, was on the show yesterday. He said we have to give the Magic at least a month to start making judgments on whether this iteration of the team is as good as we thought it would be. Do you agree with that, Kravitz? We got to give it a month?
I don't think you know what an NBA team is before you wrap up November, but you do have to start collecting wins because you can put yourself in a precarious situation. And I don't think any of us thought that the Magic were going to be good enough to overcome a really bad record if they were to start with that. Part of the appeal in the Magic this season is that there was a lot of continuity, a lot of growth from the younger players like Paolo and Franz and Jalen, that with those guys being healthy to start the season, that they'd be able to get off to such a hot start and then just kind of hit cruise control. And then you hope that things like offense and whatever get better. But the issue is, maybe you don't know what this team is in a month, but if you're 10 games below 500, that's a problem.
I sort of laugh because, I mean, we cover a lot of college football, obviously, and these college football rosters, they're changing their entire rosters every single season. We're acting like the Magic have this whole new team here. It's like one new starter is all they have.
That's sort of what I'm saying. That part of the overall analysis on the Magic was that they were going to be able to hit the ground running because so many of their pieces aren't new. It does take a minute. It's not like do you remember when LeBron, Wade, and Bosh got together and I don't remember the exact record, but
they were struggling early.
Yeah, they were like 4-3 and people thought they were going to go 82-0. And it was like, oh my God, this isn't working. And everybody panicked. I remember that was such a big storyline at the time that like there's no chemistry and whose team is it? And the team, they wound up losing in the finals. They still went to the NBA finals that year, and that was the team that everybody was panicked over. I'm not saying that the Magic, their expectations were not to be that of one of the greatest teams that's ever been put together, but there were expectations. There's frustration. We are talking about 4 basketball games. 4. That's just not enough to make any sort of conclusion. Even if they look bad tonight, we'll overreact to it tomorrow, but it'll be
Absolutely.
just that. It'll be an overreaction. I just hope that they start stacking some wins as they figure themselves out.
The Toronto Blue Jays, man, are they resilient. They rebounded from the loss to the Dodgers in that 18-inning marathon on Monday night. They win 6-2 last night to tie the series 2-all. Here was the big hit.
2-1. Vladdy hits it high. Left field. Hernandez back on the track. Looks up. It is gone. Plaka-top. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. puts them in the lead with a 2-run shot. 2-1 Blue Jays in the top of the third.
Vladdy hits it off Shohei Ohtani, who didn't look so great. Maybe he was tired from getting on base 9 times in that marathon game on Monday night. But again, the Blue Jays have tied the series. They've assured that now they're going back home, and the World Series will be decided in Toronto one way or the other. Are you having any second thoughts about maybe the Blue Jays having the upper hand now?
I am having second thoughts, and I will. This, of course, it would have sounded way smarter. Let me just couch this by saying that had I said this before the series started. Okay. But one way to beat the Dodgers is to be able to score with them. That's really the only way to do it. And the Blue Jays have the ability to do that. And probably should have factored that analysis in before I just penciled the Dodgers in for a championship. The Blue Jays lineup is good enough to go toe-to-toe even when the Dodgers stars show up like they did the other night. Yes, the Dodgers won in game 3, but it took 18 innings and a walk-off home run in order to do it. The Blue Jays bats are not going to go away, which means the Dodgers can't slip up. And last night they did in terms of only putting 2 runs on the board. Yes, absolutely. 57% of the time, the team that's going to finish at home in a series that's tied 2-2 in the World Series wins. So that means the position that the Blue Jays are in, that team wins almost 60% of the time. Really good spot for the Blue Jays to be in right now. And I was dead wrong because I thought the series would be over by now.
By the way, TV ratings for the World Series, at least in the United States, are down 14% from last year. Of course, last year you had the Yankees and the Dodgers, so that was going to get a big rating in the U.S. But when you count the Canadian and Japanese audiences in the World Series, it's the biggest audience overall that Fox has had, like 32 million per game.
Baseball's back.
So, yeah, that's NFL numbers if you count Canada and Japan.
That's awesome. And I love to hear that because this sport it's roped me back in, Mike. I wish I could really focus on the World Series as much as I feel like I watch more regular season baseball than even postseason baseball just because of where it lands on the calendar. But I am back to childlike levels of enjoyment when watching baseball, and it's really cool to see the way this sport has come back around in popularity.
We've talked a lot about the LSU job coming open after Brian Kelly was fired on Sunday. Well, guess who's interested in the job? Ed Orgeron, who was ousted by LSU less than 2 years after winning a national title there, said today he would, quote, I would love to return to LSU. I'm only one phone call away, said Coach O. In fact, we've gotten in touch with Coach O, and here's what Coach O had to say.
Now, what starts with the letter C? Cookie starts with C. Let's think of other things that start with C. Who cares about other things? C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. Oh, cookie starts with C. Oh.
Boom.
I could think of other things that start with C, like coaching and coordinators.
I would love to see Coach O get back. And I covered Coach O when UCF played LSU in the Fiesta Bowl. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
It was just the
that
Joe
was
Burrow
the Joe Burrow
game.
emergence game.
Yeah, so I covered it, and I had a videographer with me, and we went up to Coach O, and I was doing my Coach O impression for Coach O. He was laughing. Oh, that's good. That's good. I love that guy.
I have another thing that starts with C. Coins. That's what they pay me when I leave the building.
Coach O, would they ever bring back Coach O? They wouldn't, would they?
I don't know why not.
I don't know why they fired him to begin with. 2 years after winning the national title.
I always feel like because he was such a fun-loving personality, he wasn't taken seriously. He was the head coach of the greatest college football team I've ever seen with my own eyes. And that's saying something because I grew up watching football down in South Florida. Those Miami teams were pretty damn good. But Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, I mean, they were unreal. That team was as good as any I've ever seen in my life. And he was the head coach.
He might not have been taken seriously, but he was serious enough to go 51-20 in his 6 years there, including that 15-0 national championship.
This is the new era of college football. Hey, rather than go try and win some bidding war, let's just pay for somebody that we've already had a little bit less. Right? That's the idea with Florida State. It's the idea with LSU. UCF did it.
Cookie. Absolutely.
All
right, those are your headlines and your highlights.
I really like this idea, Mikey. Good. Very good. Coming up next, your daily source of motivation and inspiration, plus a whining Wednesday text question, one that you will surely have an opinion on. That is next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz will be back right after this. Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, credit. That's credit. Enter it now online at 969thegame.com.
When I'm looking for an air conditioning company, I'm looking for a company I can trust, and that is Ziegler Air Conditioning. In fact, I had Ziegler Air out at my place today. They were doing their regular maintenance of my unit. They come out, check it out, give me some recommendations. They gave me a recommendation on what sort of filter I should be using today, cleaned everything out. You want to get your AC unit maintained, all right? Because if you've seen the price of a new unit, you do not want that. When you get it maintained, not only does it keep it running efficiently, it also keeps that warranty intact. And you certainly want that to happen. One of the things I love about Ziegler Air Conditioning is their techs are paid well to do the job right. A lot of companies send sales advisors with their service techs to sort of try to sell you something, maybe try to sell you a new unit that you don't need. They're both paid commissions. Ziegler doesn't believe in that, right? Their technicians are paid to fix your AC, not pad a commission check. Plus, when you give them a call, you'll get a real human being on the phone. Meredith will answer the phone, get the ball rolling on whatever you need. Trust matters. That's why I go to Ziegler Air Conditioning. Give them a call, 407-245-8765, 407-245-8765. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
I'm a beer fanatic, so I don't settle for anything less than the best. And the folks at Hourglass Brewing deliver quality, consistency, everything I'm looking for in a good beer. With that neighborhood charm at their 2 Orlando locations, Hourglass Brewing is a first-class brewery from the same one that cranks out Zone Heads 35 once per year, but it's more than that. They crank out the hits on the daily. 25-plus Hourglass beers on tap every single day. Stop by for happy hour. $3 I4 iSource citrus lagers from 4 to 6 p.m. all day on Mondays. They even have wines, seltzers, ciders, something for everybody. Cozy up to the bar, get to know their friendly staff. Hourglass is a welcoming watering hole for the entire Orlando community, and they have a location right near downtown Orlando as well, on top of the one right around the corner from me in Longwood. This isn't mass-produced. This is craft. Fresh ingredients, local pride, and a taste that you can actually savor. So next time you need to unwind, skip the ordinary and raise a glass to the extraordinary. Raise a glass to Hourglass Brewing.
There's an accident on Orlando Avenue at Ronald Reagan Boulevard, a crash on Narcoossee Road at Boggy Creek Road. On I-4, traffic starting to slow down in some familiar areas near that 408 interchange there, getting through the city in between Sand Lake Road and Osceola Parkway. There's no surprises on the major roadways affecting your ride at the moment, but if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends November 1st. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
Listos todos!
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with auto pay plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Consequence of canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without auto pay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Live boxing is back at Caribe Royale, Orlando on Saturday, November 1st. In the main event, undefeated former Cuban Olympian Lenier Pero takes on Britain's Jordan Thompson for the WBA Continental Heavyweight title. In the co-main event, U.S. Olympic bronze medalist and Orlando native Omari Jones fights Yusuf Metu, and Yelvis Gomez defends his WBA Continental Americas title against undefeated local favorite Antrevious Ingram. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
Attention Pride fans, are you ready for another epic year? Single match tickets for the 2025 season are now on sale. Join us in celebrating the Orlando Pride, the defending NWSL Shield winners and NWSL champions, by watching the games live after our best season yet. Tickets are now on sale at orlando-pride.com/tickets.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Eustace Roofing has a scary good deal with their spectacular savings event. $1,500 off your roof replacement. Serving all of Orlando with trusted hands-on service since 1959. Visit eustaceroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. Terms and conditions apply.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Greatness is here. All 830 of our famous footwear stores now carry Jordan brand. So it's easy to score Jordan brand footwear and accessories, from hats to backpacks to socks, for the full family at a store near you. Famous Footwear's in-store fit experts will help you find the perfect style and the perfect fit, because every day is a chance to make it famous. Come in and shop Jordan brand footwear and accessories at your local Famous Footwear store today.
Do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Tonight, the Magic head to the Motor City to take on the Pistons. Our coverage starts at 6:30 with Magic Tonight. Tip time is 7 p.m. Catch every exciting moment of Orlando Magic basketball all season long, right here on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeartRadio app. Miami Dolphins play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Out of the timeout, here's Franz weaving his way into the lane. They got no answer for number 22. A beautiful layup. He is up to 20 points on the night, and it's 109-102, 7-point Philly lead.
Well, hopefully the Magic can get off the schneid tonight. 3 straight losses. Magic fans jumping off the ship. Don't do it just yet. Let's see what these guys have in store for us tonight against the Detroit Pistons. Game day covered. I got to get this settled. I got a long day ahead. Game day coverage. Powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. That is IBEW Local 606. It happens, Mike. Sometimes you just get a little tongue-tied.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I thought you'd have something insightful to say about that. All right, it's time for our daily coach quote of the day.
This is Jamal Mosley, head coach of the Orlando Magic, and this is your daily coach quote of the day.
Our daily source of inspiration and motivation, and today's comes from Nick Saban, one of my favorite sources of inspiration and motivation. The fact is, more people die on the way down from Mount Everest than on the way up. And I believe he always told that to his coaching staffs over the years. I think that's an actual stat. I believe that is true. And the meaning behind that, of saying that to his coaching staff and to his players over the years, is that you can't relax. People get to the mountaintop and they think, I've done it. And what they don't take into account is that you have to either A, stay there, or B, gracefully make your way down. And there are more people that are unable to do that than those that are able to make the climb.
Maybe that's what happened to Mike Norvell in that program. Mike Norvell always talked about the climb. That was one of his phrases, the climb. The climb, the climb, the climb. Well, they climbed what they thought was to the top of the mountain. Of course, they didn't get invited into the playoff. And then, boom. And yes, it is true. More climbers die on the way down, largely due, I'm reading from Google here, largely due to exhaustion, depleted oxygen, and bad weather. Climbers are often too tired or their oxygen tanks are low after the effort of reaching the summit. So,
which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Physiologically, but also I like the mental twist on that from one Nick Saban. I can only imagine, Mike, thinking about it in a realistic sense, how daunting it would be, one, to just climb Mount Everest, but then to put all of your might into getting up there and then go, well, I can't just stay here. It's not like you climb to the top of Mount Everest and then you get a 1-bedroom apartment. You got to go back. You got to go back down. Oh, that would be so tough.
Yeah, no question about it. But yeah, that's a great quote. And the spin you put on it is probably accurate. You spend so much effort getting to the top that, hey, you think you've made it, when really, if you want to stay on top, you've got to work even harder.
Yes, exactly. And perhaps build some endurance along the way for that moment when you are able to get to your ultimate goal. Our text talkback topic of the day, I did not prime you on this, Mike, but there was just one of these random things that I came across in my day. I found myself annoyed by it. And then I thought, why am I even allowing the smallest semblance of annoyance to creep into my body, into my nerves for something so silly that doesn't even affect me? And then I thought, okay, well, let's turn this into content. Here is the text talkback topic of the day. Hit us up on the Mills Air text line at 50857 or in the Rage Cage. Things that annoy you that probably shouldn't. That is the question. And I will start by explaining my reasoning for this. I am on my way to school to drop my kid off, and I see a parent walking across the street, dropping their kids off on foot, holding their coffee mug from the morning. So they've got their pajamas on, which, first of all, put on some real clothes. You're out in public now.
I agree with that.
Okay, that wasn't even what bothered me. What bothers me is when I see people walk around with coffee mugs. You're not drinking your coffee when you're walking down the street. It is not you're not physically able to do that without getting coffee all over yourself. One thing, and maybe you'll start noticing this now that I've pointed this out.
What about the non-spill coffee?
I'm not talking about travel mugs. I'm talking about actual coffee mugs with the handle. Nobody that walks around with those ever takes a sip of their coffee. They're just holding it like a prop. It just annoys me, and I know that it's so pointless to be bothered by this, but I am.
Well, I understand, but like, if I go shopping in the morning, like a lot of times I'll get up really early on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I'll go to Publix, all right, before anybody's even there, and I'll have my I'll take my coffee in the Publix. It's not in a mug. It's in like a tumbler. It's in a tumbler.
That's what that's for.
Right.
Nobody's walking around with I'm talking about a mug with the open top and like a cup.
Well, my tumbler does have I don't have a top on the tumbler. It's open, but I don't spill. I don't spill.
Okay. Well, and if I see someone drink out of it, then I go, okay, you're in the clear. But if I see people just walk around with it, like it's like they're holding a cane, it just bothers me. I have no explanation for it, by the way, but that's the whole point of the text question. Things that annoy you that probably shouldn't. Up next, OJ McDuffie hops into the chat to talk about my red hot Miami Dolphins next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Looking for that perfect diamond? Then start with the experts who bring them straight to the Sunshine State. International Diamond Center, Florida's direct diamond importer. For over 40 years, IDC has eliminated the middleman so you get the best price every time. Their global connections with miners and diamond cutters go back decades. In fact, IDC's owner once supplied jewelry stores all across the East Coast. Now you too can get those bargain prices. You get the same insider pricing. So if you're getting engaged, upgrading your diamond, or shopping for something special, don't be fooled by those corporate chain stores. They can't touch IDC on price, quality, selection, or customer service. And here's the best part. IDC is locally owned by the same family since the 1980s. They're honest, transparent, and proud to be good citizens of our state. And your money stays right here at home. It's not shipped off to Wall Street. It's a no-brainer. Highest quality diamonds, unbeatable value, no middleman markup, strongest warranties, unrivaled selection. Great people, locally owned. Before you buy a diamond anywhere, go to International Diamond Center in Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennium.
The temps are rising, pressure's on, and your AC is on the ropes. Have no fear. Mills Air is there stepping out of the batter's box into your home for that quick repair. The bottom line is I don't skimp on quality. I don't skimp on professionalism, and that's why Mills Air is my go-to AC service provider. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver. Call Leon and the crew. Schedule your appointment and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
It's always a great feeling seeing a fellow Knoll on the road. Show your spirit with the Florida State University specialty license plate. Visit your local tax collector's office and get yours today with a $25 rebate for first-time buyers. Let's pave the streets with garnet and gold. Go Knowles!
Live boxing is back at Caribe Royale, Orlando on Saturday, November 1st. In the main event, undefeated former Cuban Olympian Lanier Perro takes on Britain's Jordan Thompson for the WBA Continental Heavyweight title. In the co-main event, U.S. Olympic bronze medalist and Orlando native Omari Jones fights Yusuf Metu, and Yelvis Gomez defends his WBA Continental Americas title against undefeated local favorite Antrevious Ingram. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
Orlando Magic basketball lives here on 96.9 The Game, and your game day Magic coverage is powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. IBEW Local 606 has been powering and serving Central Florida for over 75 years, and they are the dream team for electrical workers across this area. For more info, head to IBEWLocal606.org. and go Magic. Hey, Knights fans, come and join me this Saturday for the 96.9 The Game UCF watch party at the Hideaway. We'll have UCF tickets to give out and mix and match buckets of Yingling and Yingling Flight for $14.75. That's Saturday. Kickoff at noon at Hideaways. Just place 523 Virginia Drive in your phone's map. That's 523 Virginia Drive. And join us on Saturday. Charge on.
You've worked hard for your land. Now let it work for you. With Fields and Forests, you can diversify your land and earn income while leaving a lasting legacy for future generations. Designed to work with landowners with 40 or more acres, this program helps grow pine trees on your open fields with all upfront costs covered. Annual payments are guaranteed for 30 years, plus you can earn profits from approved timber harvests and any farming on adjacent acres. Invest in your land and your future. Learn more at fieldsandforests.org.
Yingling Traditional Lager. Brewed by the same family for nearly 200 years, it's a crisp amber lager with a bold, smooth flavor that's perfect for game day. Whether you're cheering from the stands or watching from your favorite bar, Yingling is the taste of tradition. Yingling. Legends stand the test of time.
At Farmers Insurance, we often wonder, why would you buy a top-of-the-line smartphone only to protect it with the cheapest case? Would you invest thousands in a home reno but use the cheapest electrical wiring? And to apply that common sense further, why would you ever compromise on the quality of your insurance? The answer is simple. You wouldn't. If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with Farmers, you can get quality and savings. Get a quote today at farmers.com.
We are Farmers.
Underwritten by Farmers, Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges, or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way. With a dedication to lasting quality. Trusted performance and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
This is the beat of sports.
One of the things that schools sometimes do not take into account when hiring college football coaches is, do they get your program? And what I mean by get it, to the extreme of LSU, been around college sports long enough to know that's the biggest brand in the state, and it's bigger than the Saints. You better hire somebody that understands that. You can't always get it right, but sometimes you better think twice about the people that you hire, which now leads us to all the vacancies. We're not done. There's going to be more coaches that get fired, and the more jobs that open up, it becomes challenging. And there's not a single Gator fan today that isn't a little bit more nervous, because no matter what you think, and I still believe if you got it going at Florida, it is one of the best jobs in the country. However, LSU can make the argument it's as good, if not better. And if Lane Kiffin becomes choice number one for them, that's more competition.
The beat of sports with Mark Daniels. Weekday mornings following the bridge at 9:30 on FM 96.9 The Game, Orlando's sports leader.
Hey everybody, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Wednesday evening forecast. A cold front making its way into the region may pop up a couple of very scattered showers, but really it's the cooler air that's the big story for us. That cooler air starting to sink its way into the region through the overnight tonight, dropping our temperatures into the low and mid 50s all across the region. Temperatures tomorrow only going to be in highs throughout the low 70s. It's going to be a chilly one, especially as we take a look ahead to Halloween night.
The UCF Knights play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeartRadio app. Another week of Dolphins football has come and gone. Let's recap all the action with the legend himself. Presented by the Flynn Law Office.
Oh my, Rick, what a beautiful play. O.J. McDuffie, the number one pick.
Here's O.J. McDuffie.
Miami has Dolphins.
I'm so happy I could cry. Miami Dolphins legend O.J. McDuffie joins us as we wrap up a successful Week 8 for the Miami Dolphins. This segment presented by Trey Flynn Law. Your free case evaluation, just a click or a phone call away. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. OJ, we did it. We have squeezed joy out of the 2025 season.
Man, oh man, that was fun, huh? That was a lot of fun. And I tell you what, it's nice that you can play that song and not have to remix it, this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty cool right there, man.
Well said. Yeah, we like sticking to the original when we can. What did Tua show you in his ability to make throws? He looked like vintage Tua with a swollen eye and all.
You know what? I think the team as a whole did a great job of protecting Tua, and I think Tua did a great job of protecting the football and took advantage of some opportunities that he was given. This is honestly, Brandon, this is the ideal situation that we want to have as a Miami Dolphins football team. We want to be able to run the football, stay ahead of the chains, and give Tua some opportunity. And then once the run game starts getting good, he can take a couple more shots down the field. So I thought the game management in general by Tua was incredible. Protected the football, and obviously the visor in one eye is the remedy for Tua being successful out there.
And the teammates were buying into the visor. On the other side of the ball, can you explain to me how the run defense that has not been present all year shows up against Bijan Robinson? How did this happen? Yeah. Was this scheme? Did they just have a bad game? How did you diagnose how the Dolphins were able to completely stifle the Falcons' run game?
Yeah, I think the scheme was incredible. I think a lot of one-gapping where guys are getting upfield and the fits were absolutely perfect. I mean, Jordan Brooks has been that guy all year long, and, we're used to Jordan Brooks making tackles, but, they're 3, 4, 5 yards down the field. See him get some, a tackle, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, things like that. That's impressive. These guys were gap fit perfect this whole game. We knew that they wanted to make Kirk Cousins one-dimensional, or the Atlanta Falcons one-dimensional, put everything on Kirk Cousins' back. And in order to do that, you have to stop Bijan Robinson, you have to stop Algier, and they did a great job of that, limited those guys to 45 yards. And it's a remedy. Every week it's going to be different. Now, tomorrow night, they're going to put a hat on Derrick Henry, and it's going to probably have to be the same idea. Little different animal you're dealing with there, though. So it's got to be a bunch of guys, a bunch of hats to the football, and I think that's going to be the key, because every team thinks they can come in and run the ball on us because other teams they have to change that narrative for sure.
OJ, obviously you were happy with the victory last week. You're a former Dolphin on the Dolphins broadcast team. Kravitz was giddy. I mean, he was just so giddy after the Dolphins won.
I'm still giddy, Mike. I'm still giddy.
Yesterday, he was trying to tell me that the Dolphins are still in playoff contention. And I realize we're all happy about the Dolphins. But, OJ, come on. Isn't that a little ridiculous?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, right? I am the biggest homer you're going to run into. If you think Brandon's a homer, I'm the biggest homer you're going to run into, man. And I truly believe in going 1-0 every week, and I truly believe in any given Sunday. Tomorrow night's going to be a big test, obviously, for us. But I just say, I just worry about this week. I got in some social media, not trouble, but somebody was going back and forth like, oh, it's a bad win against a bad team and blah, blah. I don't care. All I care about is this week, and I can actually go to Publix. I can go out in public, wear my Dolphin stuff, and not hear any crap from anybody. So yes, we can definitely go on a roll, and I'm with Brandon. We're going to go on a roll right now.
OJ, I'm curious. Obviously Tua throws 4 touchdown passes last week, the 4 different receivers. We saw the Eagles' offense get cranked up last week without A.J. Brown. I'm wondering. Is it sometimes easier for a quarterback when the star receiver is not in there and you feel obligated to get him the ball?
Absolutely. And I think it makes play calling a lot easier too, where you don't have to force situations. I think for Mike McDaniel, not having to force it to Tyreek multiple times, and for Tua, every time he comes out of the huddle, he's looking Tyreek first. I think it helps a lot when you've got a lot of guys out there that are capable of making plays, and you go by what the defense tells you and not because of what you want to happen. And that worked out. I thought we'd get to that a little sooner after Tyreek's injury. But now I'm seeing that they're starting to do that a lot more. The distribution of the football has been really good, including the guys that are carrying the ball, the guys that are receiving the ball. And you said it best, Mike. It's like 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers. That's what you really look for in a complete football game.
What are you hoping to see tomorrow night as the Dolphins take on the Ravens? Do you think this team, with the way they played last week, I just hope that it's not fool's gold and that they give another respectable outing against a team that's now coming together health-wise. They got healthier on defense. They're getting Lamar back. They won by double digits last week. What do you think we see? What version of the Miami Dolphins do we get on Thursday night?
I hope to see an aggressive defense early. That's what I really hope to see. I want to see if they can carry on what they did last week. You got another team that can run the ball very well. It's going to be, like you said, a tough challenge with Lamar back. We already talked about Derrick Henry and some of the guys they have that are going to be superstars in this game tomorrow night. But can we go out there and can we stop them running the football, and can we make them one-dimensional like we did with Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons? And I think the defense is up for it, man. I think the game plan was outstanding. They put them in tough down and distances. We were able to get Chop and Chubb and Phillips on the field at the same time on some 3rd and longs, and it was very disruptive. Guys came up and made tackles. So the key to the whole thing is always going to be, can we get them to be one-dimensional? Can we stop the run? Can we keep them in second and third in long situations? That's going to be the key for success. And then if you do that, then the offense will have a better opportunity to go out there and run the football more. Because, a lot of times we're playing from behind. We're playing from behind. That means Tua's got to throw the rock a lot. We ran the ball 37 times. I'd love to see us run the ball 37 times again.
All right. Well, hey, listen, Mike McDaniel, if you're listening, if you guys win the coin toss, just take the football and go march down the field. Dolphins analyst and legend OJ McDuffie, always appreciate your weekly visit, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
The only guy that can up my level of optimism for a terrible football team right there. We appreciate him talking Fins with us every week on this show. Presented by Trey Flynn Law, board certified in criminal trials at the state and federal level. That's Trey Flynn Law, 407-557 6350. Up next, your text, your talkbacks. We'll get to all of that right after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Halloween is coming up Friday, and yes, your Halloween costume should be scary. But you know what's not supposed to be scary? Your investments in your retirement portfolio. Trajan Wealth can help take the fear out of financial planning. I thought I was doing just fine. I had my retirement accounts, had a plan in my head, but when I let Trajan Wealth take a look, they found opportunities I'd been missing. I had an old 401k it wasn't just collecting dust. It was costing me money. Trajan Wealth helped me roll it over. Now it's part of a strategy that gives me confidence heading into retirement. And let's face it, the world's a little spooky right now. Global tensions, politics, tariffs, all of that can rattle the markets. No question about it. But with Trajan's fiduciaries in your corner, you sleep better. Jeff Jr., a Marine veteran who founded Trajan Wealth, built this firm with that Semper Fi mindset. Always faithful. That's how they treat your financial future. So don't let your retirement haunt you. Call Trajan Wealth at 407-204-0300 and tell them Mike Bianchi sent you, or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule that free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered investment advisor, client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
A clutch performance is great on the football field, but when it comes to your freedom, clutch play from your legal representation is vital. When your freedom's on the line, you need Trey Flynn in your corner. Trey is a board-certified criminal defense attorney with 18 years of criminal defense experience. Trey's record speaks for itself. He defends DUI cases, serious felonies, and will fight tooth and nail to protect your rights and your future. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
The roadways are getting busy, and so are emergency crews clearing up a couple accidents on Colonial Drive eastbound at Blackwood Avenue, on Orlando Avenue, northbound at Ronald Reagan Boulevard. Road rangers are on the ramp from Lee Road to I-4 eastbound. They're off to the shoulder there, clearing up a crash. Look out for an earlier accident on Narcoossee Road at Boggy Creek Road. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends November 1st. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
If you're in a slip and fall accident, time is not on your side. Stores have video footage that's crucial evidence in your case. You've got to act quickly. Call Farah and Farah so we can preserve it before it disappears. Orlando.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give. And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Betting exchanges have become the new craze in sports betting, and there is no one on the internet that does it better than BetterEdge. So transparent, so honest, so user-friendly. BetterEdge gives you that little extra advantage that you need. I've said it many times. I've bet on sports for a while. I did not start making money consistently until I started using BetterEdge. I also share competitions every Friday that we can dive into together as well. My Beat Brandon Challenge. Sign up for the first time, get $20 on the house. Just use the promo code BeatBrandon when you sign up at BetterEdge.com or on the BetterEdge app.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth LLC, a SEC registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more. You are worth more, and your car is worth more at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks, handcrafted with their signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game, sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The free iHeartRadio app.
Live radio, 24/7 news, live sports,
And your favorite podcasts.
a pure connection to what moves you.
The best part, it's all free.
Join the millions who already have it on their smartphones. The free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing at $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
You know, fellas, I've been to those so-called men's clinics. You walk in, fill out a form, they jab you with a testosterone shot in the backside, take your money, and send you out the door. No real testing, no real follow-up, no real results. That's not health care. That's fast food medicine. But when I found Florida Center for Hormones and Wellness, I knew right away this place was different. It's led by Dr. John Carrazella, a Yale honors grad in molecular biophysics, a guy who spent 25 years as an orthopedic surgeon before dedicating his life to hormone replacement, sexual health, and age management. When I went in, they actually sat down with me, ran real labs, talked about my sleep, stress, recovery, sex life, everything. Then they built a plan just for me. Within weeks, my focus was sharper, my energy was back, and my sex drive returned. I finally felt like myself again. So don't settle for cookie cutter care. Go where the experts are. Head to hormonesandwellness.com. That's hormonesandwellness.com, and tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. The UCF Knights are heard here.
This is Paulo Banchero with the Orlando Magic, and you're locked into Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Welcome back to the show. You can win $1,000 just for listening to us. It's 96.9 The Game's bonus bucks Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your chance once per hour to score $1,000. What would you do with that extra cash? Listen for the keyword and then enter it over on our website or on the iHeartRadio app. Text question today. Things that annoy you that probably should not. You can also hit us up in the Rage Cage on that. One of the things that I think I've brought up in the past for other similarly worded text questions that we've had is when I roll through Starbucks and this happens at Publix too, is when they ask me, how's your weekend going? Or what big plans do you have? And I never have a good answer. And then it bothers me that they asked me the question. So one of these days, I'm going to have some big plans, and I'm going to tell the person who asks me all about it. But
you know
most
what
days,
bothers me, and it bothers me every single time it happens. I just wave these people off as I'm passing by. All right, the people who insist on backing in, holding up traffic in a parking lot to back into.
Oh
their
my
parking
God,
space.
Mike! Thank you. This happens every time I go to the arena for Magic games. Somebody halts my progress for that.
Yeah, they're backing into a space when they could easily just pull in, all right, and inconvenience nobody. But no, they want to stop, back in, hold up traffic. So they want to inconvenience you so it's easier for them to get out when they go to leave.
Yeah,
well, guess what?
absolutely.
Guess what?
Mike's key in your car.
Inconvenience yourself. Inconvenience yourself, because backing out when you go to leave, that's, then you're inconvenienced. You should inconvenience yourself before inconveniencing other people.
Completely. I have one more personally, and then we'll read a couple of them on the text lines. Oh, somebody said trucks. Yeah, specifically trucks, talking about what Mike just mentioned. People on Twitter, do you ever see this, Mike, that are watching a game that will say something so vague about a moment in the game with no context? So, for example, and it's even worse when it's basketball, because basketball moves at such a frenetic pace. When people go, you can't call a foul on that, people will tweet that in the middle. There'll be like 18 games on. I have no idea what game you're talking about. Maybe I could guess if I know what team you follow based on who it is. But by the time I've read that, I'm like a quarter behind. Who is following along with your account so avidly that they know you can't call a flag on that? What are you talking about? The moment has passed. This isn't the way the algorithm works. We're seeing things like 15 minutes later, 30 minutes later. It is so useless to use your thumbs to tap that out and then hit the post button. Don't waste
You
your
know what
time.
else annoys? Similarly, I'll go cover a game. Say I'm at Florida Field to cover the Florida-Texas game, all right? And all the Gator beat writers are in there as the game's going on. They're tweeting play-by-play.
Yeah, those are the people. Those are a lot of the people that are doing that.
But it'll be like the Gainesville Sun beat reporter, Jaden Ball, gain of 5, 3rd and 3. It's like anybody who is interested in the game is either watching it on TV, listening to it on the radio. Are these people so egotistical that they think, hey, the people who follow me on Twitter are following the game through me? Do they think that?
Yes, I think so. And I will catch myself because I'm on Twitter during games, Magic games specifically. I live on Twitter just because.
Okay, but it's okay if you make an observation or an opinion.
I catch myself all the time where I'm about to type something out, or I have already typed it out, and it is so basic and so it's just like it's just such useless information that it's so obvious. Like, oh, Palo's having a rough first quarter. Like, oh, duh, look at the box score. Why do I need to say that to anybody? I catch myself on that all the time. All right, we're going to continue on. Our top story coming up seconds away. Right now, kick it over to Fox Sports Radio for their update. We are back in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Live, local, in your face, and bald. Very bald. Let's send you to the studio for the premier afternoon sports show in the state of Florida. Game On with Mike Bianchi and Brandon Kravitz.
Welcome back to the show. Hope you didn't change that dial because Mike and I are just getting warmed up live in Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tallahassee. It's Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz, the premier sports talk radio show in the state of Florida. Light us up on the Mills Air text line. That's 50857. Enter the Rage Cage as well on the iHeartRadio Talkback. I want to read some of these texts because we were so busy ranting and raving, we forgot to do that, and then we'll get to our top story. The question today is things that annoy you that probably should not. I brought this up because I saw somebody walking around, dropping their kid off at school today, holding a coffee mug, not one of the travel ones, just a regular mug that I know this person is not actively drinking out of, so why did you even take it out of the house? Because you can't walk briskly down the street and sip out of a coffee mug. That's not a safe and enjoyable way to drink coffee. Okay, on the text line at 50857, we've got one that says how loud my wife's chewing is. That's a problem. That's the person that you live with. We got one that says, I hate when people hold the freezer door open in the grocery store and it gets all fogged up. The freezer door is glass. You can see through it. That's such a good point. That's such a good, and I think I do that too. You open it up and you're like, take a closer look at the French toast sticks and stuff like that.
You know what I like to do? I like to go into the Walmart I live by. They have a liquor store where I go and get my beer, and they have like the beer cave where you go into the cooler.
Oh yeah, that'll wake you up.
Just walking. I love just walking in there and getting cooled off.
Somebody
at the beer.
I like that too. People who can't find any other time but 8 a.m. or 5 p.m. to go to the convenience store to buy 75 lotto tickets and 10 scratch offs in the line in front of me. Well, why are you in line at 8 o'clock or 5 o'clock at the convenience store?
To get coffee?
Probably so you can walk around with your mug. People say people who pull their shopping carts as they walk next to them. That is annoying because you're taking up more space than needs to be taken up. We need to keep a nice straight line. Good stuff. Keep it coming. 50857. More injuries in the NFL week after week. This is a story. It is every year. This is the nature of the sport that we obsess over. But that doesn't seem to faze fans of the league. In a new Quinnipiac, is that how you say this? Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Okay.
It's a reputable polling service.
Yes, it is. They polled NFL fans asking if the NFL does enough to protect their players and also if fans would be in support of expanding the season. And NFL fans said yes, overwhelmingly, to both of those questions. Among NFL fans, about 6 in 10 support adding another game, and that the view is especially prevalent among people who describe themselves as super fans. About 7 in 10, quote, super fans say that they would like to see expansion, whereas about half of casual fans want to see expansion. And my question to those people is why? Why do you feel like what we are being given as football fans is not enough? I feel like it's one of those things, Mike, that is ingrained into our culture that I do not like, that it is a caveman hoarding mentality to go, I like thing A, so that means more of thing A is good. I like more good. It does not work like that. Part of the reason why, no, it doesn't.
It does with football.
Part of the reason why football is special is because football is kept special by it not being on for too long or too many days of the week. And we are starting to get away from too long and too many days of the week. And I am not in favor of, look, if there's another week, I'll watch it. Okay. I'm not going to protest an 18th game, but if I had a vote, my vote would easily be in the no column for more football. I think what we have is slightly too much as it is. I think less is more when it comes to most things, and I definitely think that's the case for the NFL.
I would easily vote yes. I'm with the majority. I'm with the 7 and 10 serious football fans who you're talking about one more game. I want to play one more week of fantasy football. I hate when the playoffs start in fantasy football, week 14 or whenever it is. Everybody else doesn't get to play anymore. I want to play more. I want to play more fantasy football. I want to watch more football. Yes, are more players going to be injured? Yes, they are. But guess what? They're going to get paid more money if there's an extra game. So that's just the risk you take when you play football. I want to be entertained. All right. I want to be entertained. When football season's over, I'm sorry. I'm not as excited about the NBA as I am the NFL or college football. I'm not as excited about Major League Baseball as I am the NFL. There's no sport that I just can't wait for football season to start once it's over. So why do I want it to get over? I want it to go as long as possible. I don't want it to be 25 games, but give me another game. Hell yeah.
I think they would be better served to take a week off in the middle of the season and make people starving for it than they would adding another game. I think it would create even more of a desire, a salivation for football. By the way, the 17th game, it was the same exact conversation then. It was 16 was plenty. And then everyone's like, well, what's another? It's just one more game, right? That was in 2021. I don't recall enjoying the NFL any less before 2021 than I did after. Same thing goes, by the way, for Thursday night football. It's hard to remember a time when Thursday night football was not a thing. And it has not been around forever. It's only been around since 2006. And you know what? If it went away, we'd be fine. We don't need more. We need to either keep it the same or peel it back. Take that energy that you have for more, and put it into better. There are things that can be better about football, and that is where the energy should be, not in adding a game to the season.
I'm totally shocked at your stance. You are the ultimate NFL football helmet head, and you're calling for less? Are you... I don't get it.
Mike, I love cheesecake too. I don't want to eat it all day. I like it in its place.
At the end of the NFL season, are you tired of it? Because I'm not. I want more of it. I'm not at the end, at the last regular season game. I'm like, oh my, or when the Super Bowl's over, I'm not like, man, I'm sure glad that season's over.
That's the beauty of it, though. Yeah, of course I miss it, but that's the point. You should. That's why people love it. That's why they don't, by the way, that's why they're not turning to spring football, because they go, I like football where it is. And I do think, whether people realize it or not, you enjoy missing it too, because it builds up anticipation for the next season. You know, I'm not a full-blown minimalist, but I subscribe to some beliefs that essentially means purpose over abundance. Adding more games. How about focusing on quality of games? How about we just focus on less flags? Maybe we fix the Pro Bowl. Maybe you make it to where kids can actually go to these games, so that they create an alcohol-free section, so that little Johnny can go enjoy the game and he's not watching a fight break out in section 115.
When you have become, I don't know what's gotten into you. You've become like you're the old man on this show now. You're the old man on this show.
For those that are not watching on the stream, Bianchi has been frozen into place in the most perfect way based on how he is.
I'm
how he's ripping
now?
into me. Yeah, but you look just absolutely flabbergasted. You're
I am
frozen state.
flabbergasted. Let me see why I'm frozen here. Now I have to call up my computer.
Who's the old man now, Mikey? I just like things the way that they are. I don't like when we have perfected something and then we decide that we need to perfect it better. And the NFL is perfect. Stop messing with it.
What was the quote yesterday about change? You need to go back and read that quote.
Yeah, the toughest part of change is our resistance to it.
Yeah, that's you.
I'm okay with a little bit of change. Hey, they changed the kickoff. I was cool with that. That change is fine. I'm saying more. I'm not going to vote for more. You know what? That's how the NBA got to 82 games, by the way. And is that a good thing? No, they should peel that back. Let's get less games. Less games, more important games. Let's have everything mean something. And the NFL nails it better than any other sport. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin that, because that's the beauty of your league.
The NFL, I hate to tell you this, Kravitz, but you should already realize it. The NFL is unruinable. It is incapable of being ruined. College football is idiot-proof because idiots run it, and guess what? It's just as popular as ever. So that's the NFL as well.
Hard to argue with that. Up next, it is Bianchi's turn. Put the professor hat on. I've got the takes. They're heating up. He's got the grades. We got grade the take on the way next.
Man, I gotta have it. It's a one of a kind. Now I'm going once, going twice. I'm sold to Bianchi on the radio show. 96.9 on the dial. I know him and BK won't tell you no lies. Man, I just love those Orlando guys. Sold. Game on the radio.
Now, it's your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now online at 969thegame.com.
All the boosts are boosting over at Hard Rock Bet. They've got an MLB postseason profit boost, 30%. You can slam together some same game parlays for that game 5 tonight between the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. And the hardwood action is back. Hard Rock Bet puts the entire NBA season in the palm of your hands, from tip-off to buzzer beaters and everything in between. Check into the game and shoot your shot over on Hard Rock Bet. They've got boosted odds, as I just mentioned, live in-game bets as well. And with how shaky the Magic have been looking, that might be the best way to approach them here tonight. And it's the easiest app in the game. I'm there on weekends tracking my plays. Jump in, ride along. The app is safe, slick, reliable, updated to the second, and payouts are lightning quick. Download the app and let's cash some tickets together. Head over to Hard Rock Bet and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT IT.
Orlando, are you ready to rocket my favorite beach getaway? Hard Rock Hotel Daytona Beach is calling your name. Not even an hour's drive from downtown Orlando. You'll find modern luxury, legendary Hard Rock vibes, and that endless Florida sunshine. Even in the middle of winter, lounge by the oceanfront pool, grab a bite at their world-famous restaurant, or unwind at the spa. And when the sun sets, enjoy live music under the stars at their beachside band shell. For reservations, go to hardrockhotels.com/Daytona Beach.
Traffic's at a crawl, heading through the city on I-4, approaching that 408 interchange. You're going to run into some slowdowns on I-4 between Dr. Phillips and through that amusement park area. There's off-ramp backup from Florida's Turnpike southbound to Osceola Parkway. Keep left to avoid those delays, and look out for an accident getting cleared up on Colonial Drive at Blackwood Avenue. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Starbucks. The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks, handcrafted with their signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all to help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Claim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
When you're in big corporate world, everybody operates out of a manual or a big book of rules.
That's International Diamond Center owner Keith LeClaire talking about how hard it is to work at one of those big box corporate jewelry stores.
There's so many rules and regulations.
Big sales quotas, multiple layers of management, bottom line focus. With all that pressure on the clerks, imagine how it must feel for the customer. But at IDC, it's the opposite.
At IDC, we don't have a manual telling our people how to deal with customers. We give our associates the freedom to make a decision and help the customer make the right decision. We empower our people to take care of those customers in the way they would want to be taken care of.
So when you see another big box Wall Street-owned jewelry store, you don't have to be a victim. Come to IDC and get the price, quality, attention, and respect you deserve. Not from clerks, but from true professionals.
We want them to take care of you, protect you, and make it the best experience that you could possibly have.
International Diamond Center, your refuge from corporate jewelry retailing. Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia.
Hey, Knights fans, come and join me this Saturday for the 96.9 The Game UCF Watch Party at the Hideaway. We'll have UCF tickets to give out and mix and match buckets of Yingling and Yingling Flight for $14.75. That's Saturday. Kickoff at noon at Hideaways. Just place 523 Virginia Drive in your phone's map. That's 523 Virginia Drive. And join us on Saturday. Charge on.
At Straight Talk, we know the holidays are your time to say
yes.
So why put up with a wireless company that makes you say
out of data?
Or
no service here?
Switch to Straight Talk and say yes to real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network covered by Verizon. And with a free 5G phone when you activate select plans, someone else in your family can say yes. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Based on RootMetrics State of 5G Report, United States 1H 2025. Experiences may vary. Not an endorsement of Verizon. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hey, Florida State fans and alumni, it's always a good time to become an FSU donor. The FSU license plate is a simple way to show your school spirit and support academic excellence via student scholarships. Stop by your local tax collector's office today. Go Noles!
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Sports on iHeartRadio.
Shohei Ohtani, the stuff of legend.
Baseball, the start of the NBA season, huge college football rivalries, and of course, the NFL.
Holy mackerel!
Don't miss a second of the greatest reality show on the planet. Sports, play-by-play, podcasts, and local stations where you can join the conversation with real people.
How is he still our coach?
Open the free iHeart app and search your favorite league to start listening.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
John Taffer, host of the great show Bar Rescue. And what's the most common thing that sports bar owners specifically get wrong about sports bars?
You're asking the right guy this question. I don't know if you know this. I created NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
And if you Google it, it'll tell you that I have. So, I've studied sports and bars for a long time. Guys, look, we're on a roll here in Florida. We got a championship hockey team. It's a good time down here for us. But the fact of the matter is sports only fills the bar 70 days a year. That's it, man. Everybody's going to air the same teams at the same time. What do you do to make it fun, to make it cool? And then while they're there for a sporting event, what do you do to get them back for a non-sporting event day?
Listen to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz weekdays starting at 3 p.m. on FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Welcome back to Game On, the place where the takes are hotter than nacho cheese. Brought to
And
you.
you're older than nacho cheese. Everybody's just commenting on the text line. What an old fogey you've become.
Let's see. I haven't. Yeah. Well, it was a sharp turn into the 40s. Kind of hits you right over the head. Somebody said, "What the hell has gotten into Kravitz? Old." No, we're not gonna do that. Somebody said, Bianchi, this is what happens when BK hit 40. Somebody said fewer games, not less games. Oh, grammar police have come out. Somebody said college is close to ruining the regular season by adding more playoff teams. I'm the exact same way in college, by the way. I'm an anti-playoff expansion guy. Always have been. This is on brand for me, actually, now that I think about it. Less is more, okay? You can love something and want less of it. It's like if you have a significant other and you're like, I love spending time with you 2 days a week, you know? That's it. This segment brought to you by Yingling and this weekend's watch party. Come and join me on Saturday for the 96.9 The Game UCF watch party at the Hideaway. Such a cool spot. We will have UCF tickets to give out for future games. $14.75 mix and match buckets of Yingling and Yingling Flight. That is this Saturday. Kickoff is at noon. UCF Baylor. That's at Hideaways, 523 Virginia Drive. Throw that into your phone's map, and I'll see you on Saturday. Charge on. Hit the music, Jade. Mike, get your ruler out. Get out your number 2 pencil and your abacus. We're heading back to school. It is time for Grade the Take. You are the grader. I am the take deliverer. Are you ready, sir?
I am ready to roll.
All right, we're going to start with a layup here, okay? I'm not expecting an A on this. I'm expecting a rock solid B+.
Okay.
As much as I want Todd Bowles to be considered for NFL Coach of the Year for what he has done with this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, winning with offense, winning with defense, winning with grit, no one stands a chance in terms of that award against either Shane Steichen of the Colts or Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots. No one else in the league will be winning that award other than those two guys.
Okay, I definitely give you an A for hotness. I think that's a fairly hot take, not an A+ hot take. I mean, it's sizzling. It's a sizzling take. As far as accuracy of the take,
it's dead on. This was a layup at the rim. Okay, nobody is competing with them.
I need to look at
the Colts are 7-1. Nobody expected that, and that's usually the guys that win Coach of the Year are those that perform at a high level when expectations were not there. That's why Andy Reid never wins Coach of the Year.
I understand, but I mean, are you telling me? I'm having a brain infarction now. Sean Payton telling me he's not going to get some consideration for the Broncos? I mean, the Broncos are pretty damn good. He's turned that franchise around pretty quickly. So yeah, Todd Bowles, I think, is in the no. That's a accuracy. That's a C. I'm going to give you wanted a B. I'm going to give you a B-.
But you just got to ask for it, kids. If Indiana goes on to win the national championship under Curt Cignetti, it will create a wave of mimicking hires in college football of older coaches, as every team that needs a head coach will go and try and find their own version of Curt Cignetti.
Okay, as far as hotness, that's a B. That's a B. As far as accuracy, I don't think it's very accurate for this reason. you would have to go find an old coach who's coaching at a lesser type of pro, like Signetti came from James Madison. I just don't see a lot of college athletic directors going and hiring a 60-year-old coach from a 1AA school to come. I don't think LSU or Florida or any of these top jobs are going to do that. So as far as accuracy, I'm going to give that probably a D. So you get about I'll give you a C plus.
Rough. So you don't think old George O'Leary's going to get a yeah.
Nah,
They called me because they wanted someone that's been around for a while.
I mean, you might get some retreads like Jimbo Fisher, who are, Jimbo Fisher, isn't he right around 60 or maybe, Urban?
Yeah,
I don't think you're talking about those type of coaches.
I think they're just like, hey, head to the coaching geriatric house. Let's find our own version of this guy. All right, let's switch to streaming. I'm attempting to watch an NBA game last night.
Mm-hmm.
I went to 3 different places before I finally found what I was looking for. 3. Even for me, I don't know where I fall on this, but I think I'm in the millennial range who knows technology fairly well. Right. Sports leagues are asking too much of their consumers in 2025 with all of this streaming nonsense.
I don't think that's a very hot take. I think most people believe that. So that's a C as far as hotness. Accuracy, it's an A because, I don't think there's any question. I mean, I would not even if I wanted to watch a game, I wouldn't go searching for it 3 different places. I would just, go to ESPN.com and check the score. That's how I would do it. Apple TV is a perfect example with MLS. I think Orlando City has lost a lot of interest because it's forcing fans to go get on Apple TV to watch Orlando City. So, accuracy, you get an A. Hotness, you get a C minus. I'm going to give that I'll give that a B.
So I turn on YouTube TV. That is my cable-ish provider. It's a cable adjacent. And I go to find the Clippers Warriors game. Just want that on in the background. And I can't find it. Like, I know this game is on right now. And then I go, oh, I know. I have the NBA package on Amazon Prime. So this is a League Pass game. I'll go turn on Amazon. I turn on Amazon Prime, and it's nowhere to be found. And I stand there in front of the TV and go, I know I can figure this out. I know this game is on somewhere. And I click on Peacock, and that's where I found it. Peacock. Exclusive.
So even if you have the NBA package,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I am an NBA fan through and through. I went to go watch the game on the League Pass, where you have access to all of the games, and it was not available there because it was on a different streaming service. It's just going to take some time to get used to this.
I'm sorry. If you have the League Pass, and I've never gotten a League Pass in anything, if you have the League Pass, you should be able to go there and get any game you want. Any game.
Agree.
I don't care if it's on another streaming service.
I agree. One more on the NBA. The Spurs are one of the 4 undefeated teams in the NBA. The Magic have lost to 2 of the other ones, by the way. Victor Wembanyama looks amazing. If by some miracle they get Giannis in the trade market, the season is over and the Spurs will be your 25-26 champion.
Whoa, that's definitely a hot take, and it's definitely a unique take, and it's a factual take as well. I don't know how Giannis, well, hell, Wemby fits with anybody the way he plays. I mean, he can play outside, for crying out loud, on offense if you wanted him to. So that's an A+ take, Kravitz. Accuracy, hotness, that is A+ all the way around.
All right, last one. I'm already blowing past the time here, but this is a really important take to get out into the universe. Halloween parties blow New Year's parties out of the water because people are dressed up. They're way more laid back. There's less pressure to have fun. Thus, you have more fun, and you don't have to stay up until midnight if you don't want to.
Accuracy, no.
What?
I don't like Halloween parties because I don't like going through the effort of getting dressed up in a costume and things like that. Call me, a fuddy-duddy. I don't like that.
I said I didn't want to stay up till midnight. I thought that was going to get me lambasted, but
I went to a
I don't want to
Halloween
put on
party
a wig.
I went to a Halloween party one time, and I carved out a real pumpkin, all right, and just wore the pumpkin on my head with eyes like a jack-o'-lantern. And I went through this whole party with like this pump. My head was all wet with pumpkin sweat. It was the most miserable time.
They sell costumes in stores.
I know, but I thought it would be funny to have a real pumpkin on my head, and it was funny, okay? But miserable. That's a F on that.
I've got pumpkin goo on my head. I can't even get the boxed wine into my mouth.
That was my last Halloween party. I think I was like 21 years old.
Oh my God, you've been to a Halloween party since you were 21?
No.
That was like 4 centuries ago.
Right.
Up next, midweek mic'd up. We'll hear from the movers and shakers next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz.
I am just blown away by some of the things that Mike Bianchi says. I'm also blown away by my air conditioning unit because it's always pumping that cool air in the Kravitz household, thanks to Mills Air, none other than. They don't cut corners. They don't play games. They just deliver every single time. Perfect execution from Mills Air anytime they've come over to the house. This is now 2 different houses where I have leaned on Mills Air as my go-to service provider for both of them, and they have gotten me out of numerous binds. And they've been doing that for Orlando homeowners and business owners since 1992. Mills Air is a Carrier Factory authorized dealer. So what does that mean for you? $1,275 in brand new in rebates in brand new Carrier units. So you can always rely on the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to the experts at Mills Air. 407-277-1159 and online at millsair.com.
Hey, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, just a short drive from Orlando, right there next to Claremont. Mission Resort is renowned for its 2 stunning championship golf courses. El Campeon, the Champion, was founded in 1917 and is one of the most tradition-steeped courses in the Southeast. Book your tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them I sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. But there's more than just golf. You can also play pickleball, tennis, or rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. Also celebrate the holiday with their special Thanksgiving holiday brunch on Thursday, November 27th from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Oh, is it going to be good? Secure your table easily by making a reservation on opentable.com, or you can make reservations for the hotel, golf tee times, and the Thanksgiving brunch at missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, your next great escape is closer than you think.
At Farmers Insurance, we often wonder, why would you buy a top-of-the-line smartphone only to protect it with the cheapest case? Would you invest thousands in a home reno but use the cheapest electrical wiring? And to apply that common sense further, why would you ever compromise on the quality of your insurance? The answer is simple. You wouldn't. If it's important, it's not worth compromising. That's why with Farmers, you can get quality and savings. Get a quote today at farmers.com.
We are Farmers.
Underwritten by Farmers, Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges, or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Orlando Magic basketball lives here on 96.9 The Game, and your game day Magic coverage is powered by IBEW Local 606. Proud to serve electrical workers across Central Florida, providing its members with a supportive community, training, valuable benefits, and advancement opportunities. IBEW Local 606 has been powering and serving Central Florida for over 75 years, and they are the dream team for electrical workers across this area. For more info, head to IBEWLocal606.org and go Magic.
Attention, all Florida State Seminole fans and alumni. Did you know that 71,000 Noles have FSU specialty license plates? The FSU license plate is the simplest way to convey your school spirit and support academic excellence via scholarships. FSU even provides a $25 rebate for first-time buyers. Stop by your local tax collector's office and get an FSU tag today, or find out more at mytag.fsu.edu. Go Knowles!
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give and receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or over and have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, the Talon Comprehensive Financial Plan is complimentary. And when that plan's in hand, you will also receive the gift of a will and trust courtesy of Talon Wealth.
The folks at Talon Wealth are not attorneys, but they work with a group of attorneys who'll provide a will and trust at no charge to you. Reach out at 813-755-5000. 813-755-5000. One more time, that's 813-755-5000. And be sure and tell them that Clay and Buck sent you.
Advisory services offered through Talon Private Wealth, LLC, a SEC-registered investment advisor. The information provided is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, or financial advice.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers-only Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown, Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Not today, cough and chest congestion.
Most medicines let mucus build back up after 4 hours. With just one pill, Mucinex 12 Hour works continuously to break up mucus and move it up and out. Mucinex 12 Hour. Rid the congestion. Kill the cough. Use as directed. Kill the cough with Mucinex 12 Hour DM.
The Magic are back in action tonight when they visit Detroit. Orlando 1-3 on the year so far after that tough loss to Philadelphia. The countdown's on to the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Florida set to face 5th-ranked Georgia in Jacksonville coming up on Saturday. And NBA legend Michael Jordan is not a fan of the load management trend. He says players owe it to the fans to suit up and play. I'm Scott Davidson.
This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
You wouldn't drive a car under the influence, so why would you operate a boat? The FWC wants to remind you that operating a boat while impaired is just as deadly as driving a car and carries the same penalties. Be as safe at sea as you are on land. Visit myfwc.com for more info.
Eustace Roofing. New roof, no mess. Catch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all season long on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app sponsored by First Horizon Bank. Orlando's new home for Florida State football is AM 810 Fox Sports Radio Orlando. Hear every game live on AM 810 or search Fox Sports Radio Orlando on the free iHeartRadio app. Coaches, players, GMs, everyone's got an opinion these days. Let's hear from the biggest names in the game. It's time for Mic'd Up.
Mic'd Up brought to you by Adventure Boat Share. Unlimited hassle-free boating without having to own a boat. It is spectacular. You pay one monthly fee. You can go boating anytime you want on any kind of boat you want. They have a fleet of boats for you to choose from. Check them out, adventureboatshare.com. All right, let's start with UCF coach Scott Frost. The Knights getting ready to travel to Baylor this weekend. Baylor fans are not happy with their coach. He's on the hot seat, Dave Arandis, and Scott Frost says, "Hey, we have a chance to have a special season this year."
Yeah, we can have a really special season depending on how these games go, and it's going to be the same thing every week. If we play well, we're going to have a chance to win. If we don't, we won't win. We're not so good that we can go play less than our best and think that we're going to beat people. So it's good that our locker room culture and the excitement around the team are high, because we're going to need that to pull some of these off.
I haven't seen the spread on this game, Kravitz.
Would you like to play? Yes. Would you like to play a game called Guess the Spread?
Okay, I'll guess the spread. I'm going to guess Baylor is favored by, I'll say, 4.
Wow, Bianchi.
What is it?
Just an average old odds maker out there. It is 3.5.
Oh wow. Okay. UCF can win this game. In fact, I'm probably going to pick UCF to win this game. If they win this game, they're going to go to a bowl game because they're going to beat Oklahoma State. I don't think they're going to beat the 3 top 25 teams left on their schedule, but which makes this a really big game this week.
It is.
If UCF makes a bowl game this year in Scott Frost's first season, and God forbid they should somehow win 7 games, I think a case could be made that Scott Frost has done the best coaching job in the state this year.
Ooh, oh, that's
including Mario Cristobal.
Well, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
no.
People expected Miami to be good. Miami was picked by many to win the ACC. UCF was picked at the bottom of the league. The bottom of the league.
But right, okay. I think that like we just played Grade the Take. I think it's a hot take. I think it could be an accurate take, but just simply making a bowl game would not be enough to get it done. He's going to need a keystone win. Be better if it was on the road, and then get to 7 wins. You have a huge win. The win against Belichick is more sentimental than it is actually impressive, because they stink. He needs a real win. West Virginia stinks. Okay, so they count as a Big 12 win. If they beat Baylor, that's a nice win. That's a good win. That does not create a special season. You win that game and then beat Texas Tech. Okay, now we can talk. But until that happens, Mario Cristobal is still the king of Florida.
All right, Magic on the road again tonight. They take on the Pistons. Obviously, off to a bad start. They're 1-3. Very easily could be 0-4. Here's Jamal Mosley talking about his starting lineup and how they need to sort of start gaining some chemistry, and he believes they will.
I do believe it's starting to click, and it, like anything new, time you add different pieces, it takes a moment to get those pieces to all gel. But it's such a tight-knit group that they continue to communicate with one another, the things that we need to do, what they see on the floor, and those moments will continue to show and shine.
Okay, we all know Coach Mosley is the ultimate optimist. All right, he's always going to be optimistic no matter what. Are you as optimistic as he is that it's going to click and they're going to show and shine here soon?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it didn't happen. I just don't know. What I'm not optimistic about is how long that's going to take. I don't have a great feeling going into tonight. Detroit is also hungry to turn things around. They're 2-2, but their last loss was a bad one. I mean, the Magic have lost some games, but they haven't been blown out. The Pistons got torched against the Cavs in their last outing. So they have a lot to prove to themselves. The Magic have a lot to prove to themselves. This should be a grindhouse game. The Magic haven't been playing grindhouse games. They've been playing games like they're the Kings and the Bulls. They're just flying up and down the court. I don't think it fits their team's personality. And at what point does that either it works Or does Jamal Mosley say, all right, abort plan. We're just going to go back to the way we played last year because we were at least a good basketball team a year ago. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I do have faith that at some point it will because this team is just too talented to not come together.
The great Michael Jordan on his weekly NBA appearance on NBC last night, being interviewed by Mike Tirico. Here's MJ talking about the current trend of NBA players not playing because of load management.
What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like, the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
Okay, so that was Michael Jordan. He also said he wanted to play to shut up the opposing fans who were rooting against his team and against him. Kravitz, I think most fans don't like the load management. I don't know how it came into being. Does
Greg Popovich. It started with Pop.
Baseball doesn't have the load management issues that basketball does. Why?
Baseball. Why? Well, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how to answer it. I think part of it is there's two things. One, it started as a trend that I believe Greg Popovich is the one that started this, that basically said our goals are not to win regular season games and our seeding doesn't really matter. So we just need to be healthy and optimized by the time we get to the playoffs. And it worked for them and everybody tried to copy it. And then it became culture. I also think, and this is sort of like NBA hot take podcast. This is not an original opinion. I'm not trying to take credit for this, but there is something to it. This is something that like Nick Wright would say. The ring culture has become an obsession for NBA players, and simply entertaining the fans, competing on a night-to-night basis, putting up good numbers is not enough. If you're not winning a championship, you're worthless to yourself and to NBA fans. And so when you say that matters so much more than everything else is going to take a back seat, there's no load management in the playoffs. None. Right. There's a reason for it, because the ultimate goal is to win a championship, but it's such an ultimate goal. It's so much more important than everything else, that everything else is taking a major backseat. I do think that could be part of the problem.
All right, final one. Deion Sanders on the impatience in college coaching these days with all the firings and buyouts. Here's Coach Prime.
Do you think that these schools and fan bases have lost the sense of patience in the process of building companies?
There's no one patience in this world. How do we exude patience when we could call up right now and get a pizza delivered right here? That you could call and get a ride waiting outside for you. Everything is expeditious in this country. Everyone wants the quick fix, the quick things. You got mail order brides too, right? You get married, right away. You could get a BBL. You could come in here flat as I don't know what, and leave thick as a Snicker. So this is a different country that we live in, man. Ain't nobody got no patience no more. I understand that. And I don't either. I don't have patience as well. I want things done right now because I'm used to getting up there working, putting in the work, and you want that result from the work you put in. It don't oftentimes work like that. That's a great question. I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
What is BBL? I don't know what he's talking about.
A Brazilian butt lift.
Thank you, Jaden. What do we do? What would we do without our producer?
Butt lift.
I assumed it had something to do with a butt, but I didn't know what it was.
Makes your butt a lot fatter.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have to come up with a bet it or forget it question on Brazilian butt lifts now.
Mike, if I know you will deliver on that with the intensity of 1,000 men. All right, we got to take a break. We want to hear from you. Text in 50857. Back with those next.
Game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
The wait is over. We are fully into basketball season. The hardwood action has been phenomenal. Player props, sides, totals, money lines, whatever your flavor is, they got it for you. Also, World Series Game 5 tonight. I had a bonus bet yesterday. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and throw that on the Toronto Blue Jays. Boy, am I glad that I did. Just free money sitting in the account. They've got boosted odds, live in-game bets. It's the easiest app in the game. I'm in there pretty much every day. Jump in right along. The app is safe, slick, reliable, updated to the second, and payouts are lightning quick. Download the app and let's cash some tickets together. Head to Hard Rock Bet and roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Right now, home buyers have the ball and the field is wide open. Rates are lower than they've been in more than a year. More homes are on the market and sellers are more willing to negotiate. The Nickley Group is using that to your advantage, saving buyers thousands, negotiating rate buydowns, seller concessions, and even finding homes